Greetings shippers, welcome back. And it's time to discuss a pairing so rare that I'm pretty sure nobody else ships it but me. I tweeted about this over on Twitter, just kind of a throwaway thing. Speaking of, I have social media, follow me if you're interested. But a bunch of you actually wanted to hear more about this pairing. So let me tell you, if you have a rare pair, no need to feel bad. Ship that ship proudly. And after the ship I'm about to tell you about, I doubt you will feel that your pairing is so rare. For I have a ship from Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Okay, so Killer Klowns from Outer Space. You've probably heard the title even if you haven't seen the film. So what is it about? Film. Also film, really? It's a high art way to describe a movie like Killer Klowns.
Killer Klowns from Outer Space is a horror comedy film from 1988, directed by the Chiodo brothers, who are siblings who specialize in special effects, particularly clay, animatronics, and puppetry. More modern viewers may recognize them for their work on Team America World Police. So suffice it to say, they put a lot of time and effort into these clowns. The plot focuses on Crescent Cove, a small town that is attacked by a group of aliens that just so happen to look like clowns. Extremely evil clowns. This is apparently a world that doesn't hate clowns because everyone takes this pretty well. So of course, what does this movie about clowns abducting humans and encasing them in cotton candy need? Romance. Our protagonists are Mike Tobacco and Debbie Stone, a young couple who witness the clowns' arrival and get swept up in the invasion and trying to save the planet, or at the very least their town. But wait. Were you thinking, that sounds good, but I need more? Well, enter the love triangle. Because to report these clowns, Debbie needs to go to see her ex-boyfriend, local cop Deputy Dave Hansen, played by John Allen Nelson, an actor you've probably seen everywhere. He usually shows up to be handsome, such as when he was Court on Baywatch.
So of course, Mike is threatened.
It's up to these three and a cast of disposable comedic side characters to save their town from the killer clowns. And through all of this, I somehow came away thinking, those three are awesome together. Why does she have to choose?
So yes, I have a throuple, an OT3, a threesome. They are meant to be. And this didn't just come out of nowhere. I have reasons.
The film follows very standard narrative archetypes, not only genre conventions, but also fictive ones. However, when it comes to the love triangle, things get a little odd. While Dave and Mike start off as rivals, that doesn't last very long. In fact, the two get on quite well, to the point that one quickly forgets they're even supposed to be competing for the same girl. They end up playing well off each other, and neither one is a jerk, so the potential is there to end up liking both pretty equally. You also spend a lot of the film with each of them as individuals as well as together, so you're invested in seeing a good outcome for both of them. By the film's conclusion, the three are working together and the focus is very much on stopping the aliens. And they're just also gosh darn glad to be alive. And they really bond as characters. Just as the three really band together, the movie is over. Just like that. Who did she pick? We don't know. There is supposed to be a sequel, but that's been in development hell since the 80s. So if you're odd, like me, and we're really invested in the relationship aspect of a movie about killer clowns, and liked both guys and her equally, well then an OT3 was really the only logical solution. For me, it evolved quite naturally. What can I say? You never know where a ship will strike, even in a B for budget 80s horror film.
Now a little while ago at the time of this recording, we did a video on the pairing of Pennydook, the pairing of Pennywise and the Babadook. We're gonna do an update on that because a lot of people were really unhappy about Pennywise's part in that. But in that video, I made a joke about how you don't often expect to find ships in horror. But a lot of people seemed to think I was serious, and they kept pointing me in the direction of the creepypasta fandom. I know there are horror ships. It was a joke for the casual fan who might think that shipping was already weird and that shipping horror icons was even weirder. Clearly a poor one, because I just had to explain it. Not funny. I gotta stop trying. Let me have this.
Now, Killer Klowns from Outer Space is by no means a masterpiece, but has found itself a place within the pantheon of cult classic movies that many fans enjoy either because they are bad or just outlandish and different. Killer Klowns already has the difficult task of attempting to be both horror and comedy, two genres that are notoriously difficult to blend, as they both require such different atmospheres to build their respective moods, especially if it's playing it straight as this film is, unlike say Scream, which is very tongue-in-cheek and actively mocks horror tropes, which adds a meta level to the humor. There's probably a little bit of that going on in Killer Klowns, but a lot of it's so silly it can be difficult to tell. Here the most common tactics appear to be juxtaposition, things being out of place, evil clowns in a pharmacy, they don't know how to use the products, silly clowns, and also on the characters being extremely stupid. Now our protagonists aren't too bad, although they are definitely not brilliant, which may be intended to be meta, but most likely it's just to make the plot work. In fact, how they react to situations is so off that were this an ordinary horror film, it is doubtful they would have survived. However, most of the characters are oblivious to the point where it really strains one's suspension of disbelief, and for some that can render the film unenjoyable, unbelievable or too silly to really get behind.
If you're willing to go with it, this film can be a lot of fun, and part of that is the performances and the way the actors just go all for it. This is a world where there are killer clowns from outer space. No questions asked. It's that kind of earnestness that tends to make the characters so likable, even though the situation is so ludicrous. I like to imagine that they all went out and got some pie or had a hamburger or just went on with their lives. Or maybe they went on to join the supernatural verse. Now they hunt demons or aliens. The truth is out there. It's a clown from outer space. And don't think this is the only rare pair I have from a movie. I'm also shipping from The Hidden. No one cares about that movie. Please care. That movie's better than people think. But I have to ask you guys, what are some of your rare ships? Nobody else cares. You think you're the only person. If there are fics online, you wrote them. Or there are none, because it's only in your head. Please share your rarest pairs down below. I want to hear all of them. And I will tell you this now, you are not alone. Most shippers have a truly rare pair. It's okay. Don't feel crazy. I am strongly repping these three, even though I doubt that anybody truly cares. Thank you for the people on Twitter who were interested, and I hope that this explained why, and you weren't just like, oh, that was more boring than I thought it would be. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and let's get to the outro.
This has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Special thanks to all my patrons, names on the side, and as always, stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.